Just joining us,
Yes.
Suffice it to say that Phil is at the Russian bathhouse, and it was a very revealing segment.
Well
That's all you
said.
need to know.
Right now we're going to a fully clothed Spencer Garbett.
Oh, there he is. Phil Kogan is at the Russian bathhouse, and he's on the phone with his agent for reasons we won't go into.
No, Tom, I'm on the phone to you.
Oh, you are?
Yes, I'm still with Valerie, and I've been flustered, and I've been sweated, and my circulation is incredible.
Yes.
And now Valerie is giving me a few shots of some very strong garlic mixture. This is this garlic mixture over here.
Disturb.
No alcohol.
No, it's clean your blood.
Okay, well, it
gonna
feels like
clean
it has
your
a little
blood?
alcohol. I'm a little dizzy.
It's clean your
This
blood.
is wheat juice.
Oh.
This is
clean your
wheatgrass
blood.
juice. It's like 1 ounce of wheatgrass juice. It's like equal you eat 2.5 pounds fresh vegetables.
Oh, no.
Tom, I'm going to be getting more massage. I'm cleansing the inside of my body when we come back to the Russian bathhouse shortly.
What else?
What, Jerry? Why are you on the phone? And more to the point, why am I on the phone?
I'm on the phone because we lost our communication system, Tom. Normally I have a little thing sticking in my ear so I can hear you.
Yeah.
I don't have that little thing sticking in
Phil,
my
that's
ear, so
enough
I've got
talk about
the
little
phone.
things. Let's take a look at today's
Box.
Peer pressure is an issue with us because, I mean, we're at school and...
What kind of things do they peer pressure?
I think we're witnessing
to do?
peer pressure right now.
Yeah.
maybe, yeah, maybe like clothes or something. I mean, you want to fit in, you don't want to like be an odd couple or something like
Spencer?
Yes.
I'd be interested in hearing about peer pressure outside of school, what they were encountering in their neighborhoods on the streets that may have led to them being included in this special program.
Different neighborhoods here. Go ahead.
Like when it's time to go home, or when your parents tell you a certain time to go home, and you're in the middle of a game, and they don't want you to leave, or the teams won't be uneven.
Spencer, thanks to you and all.
Hi, I'm Adam West, and I'm taking off my cape and cowl to say thanks for watching Batman on FX. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to make sure Alpha didn't put starch in my tights.
Leo, a professional change or new direction in life is what you want, but discuss it with a close pal or partner.
Giving us a revealing look at the Russian bathhouse in the East Village, and we're going back to him now. Phil? That's how brother.
Tom, what a day. I'm so refreshed here at the Russian bathhouse down in the East Village. And Valerie has been with me all day, looking after me, pampering me, putting me in the sauna and giving me nice food and everything. And Valerie, I understand, because this has been so popular, opening up another Russian bathhouse in Miami.
Yes. We open in Miami Beach. It's 5445 Collins Avenue. It's with the same name, Russian and Turkish bath.
What hours do they open, Phil?
Paradise.
How many hours are you open, Valerie?
We open every day, 7 weeks. No holiday for us.
Okay.
From the wee hours.
Now, Tom, this is good for you because, as I said, it cleanses the system from the inside and the out.
It looks like a special massage.
This is black mud treatment.
Very special. This mud, Valerie, what does the mud do for my face?
This is from Dead Sea. It's very, very old. It's lie down in Dead Sea like 5,000 years before. And this is very cleansing process. It cleans your face and take off your wrinkles and make your skin very, very young.
Phil is now going to be part of the landing force in Kuwait.
Thank you very much. Goodbye from the Russian bathhouse, Tom.
Thank
you very much, Phil.
I also, I want to thank particularly our DNA guy, Mark Farley, who is on loan to the gang at the Bluegrass Boys Ranch. Spencer?
That's right. These kids are already an hour late at school thanks to television. And so we're going to get them back in the van to school, the Bluegrass Boys Ranch. We've had a good time. We'd like to wish them good luck and best wishes in their futures.
All right, Spencer.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a
We'll
lot.
see you tomorrow.
Bye. All
Of
right.
course, for those of you watching us at night, they missed the whole day of
The
school,
whole day
didn't
is
they?
still. Such like the bare naked lady. Oh.
as they should be seen. Uncut, uninterrupted, and on cable. Brought to you from the studio that made them. Be here for our first month's Fox Films. November's Fox favorites. And we're just getting started. 60 years of movie making. 60 years of Hollywood star power. 60 years of 20th Century Fox. FXM. Movies from Fox.
Let me ask you a question, folks. What causes nightmares? A welcome mat? I doubt it. Late night snacking? There's only inconclusive evidence. How about some sort of unmet brain activity? Well, then wouldn't smart people have more and more frightening nightmares? Something to think about before you nod off or learn anything. Breakfast Time Anytime with Laurie Hibbard and Tom Bergeron.
You know, I tried to map my brain activity, but I fell off the edge. Imagine my surprise. Welcome, folks, to Breakfast Time Anytime. It's Wednesday the 13th. Normally, that's nothing to be superstitious about, but for reasons you'll soon find out, this is a scary little show we've got. How about a hand for... It's what?
Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
Yes.
Even scarier.
So anyway, I was trying to map my brain, and that I'm even scared.
You should have exercised, I told you.
And, well, see, and Patricia has her Soviet super soldier outfit on, too. Patricia, do the exercise in the morning. 6:30, Monday through Friday. You like it, everybody watch home. Let me stand up. Stand up, Rangers. Applaud the Rangers. Yes. And Patricia.
Yes.
And we have, folks, so you know, so you're on your best behavior at home. We have a Venezuelan photographer here with us. Could you wave to us, sir? Yes, yes. So we all have to just be very careful. My notes, Terry. As you may have heard, Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger in all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies is our special guest here in the apartment. He'll be hanging out with us. We'll be taking you all across the country. Have a great tie-in with a fine radio station in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, no!
Robert? Robert, wake up. The bed's shaking. Robert!
No.
Robert!
Bob.
Wake
No.
up! Bob! No! It's all right. It's all right. You can't fall asleep on this show, Robert. You just...
Your dreams are mine! Mine! Did you miss me?
No! It's all right. It's all right. Come on. Get some coffee with us. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Lori, how are you?
I thought you and I were the only two that had Bob mares.
Yeah. In the next movie, Bob takes out Freddy and Jason. Together. Robert, come on over here. How about I have Robert?
Well done.
I can't get a good night's sleep on
Yeah, don't fall asleep in this place, buddy. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. It's all right. You'll be fine.
Speaking of places to sleep, you know, the Grateful Dead is in town tomorrow night. And apparently, the Grateful Dead Deadheads, the followers, go from city to city following the band around. And they usually don't have anywhere to sleep, so they stay in homeless shelters. Mm-hmm. And it's making the homeless people really mad because these deadheads come in and just en masse use up all the shelter space.
There
and
goes the neighborhood.
Yeah, and really, the homeless people have nowhere to stay. So it's a problem. So they approached Jerry Garcia about it. And Mr. Garcia says, his publicist said, Mr. Garcia has no control over what the deadheads do.
Let them eat cake.
Let them eat cake, exactly.
Can I just mention, I don't know if can you come in close on Robert, Tommy? Your skin's so much better in person than in the movies.
Well, I had a facial this morning.
That's very good.
Can I say something else, too? And I'm sure every woman in the room is like, you are a very nice-looking man.
Thank you.
And I wouldn't have bet that after seeing your movie. You know?
Well, that's about 4.5 hours, you know, getting basted like a turkey with KY jelly and the medical adhesive they put on there.
Don't go talking about your private life. We want to talk about the film.
Family show, mister.
Excuse me for
That's my date night in the village.
JD and Phil, watch your back over there.
Yeah.
Since we saw you last time, now this sounds like too low a statistic, Gary. Gary Stein, our producer, who compiles these. Come on in here. Only $328,767 were spent on football equipment. That's it?
That's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
In the whole country, according to...
Oh, you wanted a figure for the country?
Yes. We're talking a lot of football today. We've got Gwen McGee in Hollywood at the headquarters of Fox football productions. Let's see what kind of lobby $1.5 billion buys. Gwen, you're on.
Hi, Tom. Thanks. Look, I'll call him back, okay? Bye. Tom, I'm in the avocado room, honey. It's not the green room, because this is Hollywood. This is avocado room where only executives are allowed to come in. But since David, the production person, told me I could come, I feel pretty good. I'll see you later. What I'm going to
We'll do lunch.
is take you now. We sure will, honey. We sure will. What I'm going to do is take you now into a very privileged sneak peek, because we got special permission, into the NFL on Fox control room where all the big-time games go down, okay? I mean, this is about as big as you can get. Come on, Manny, we got business to do today. This is Hollywood. Check this out. Look at this. Money. Can you smell the money, Tom? I smell money, honey.
I can smell something.
You know?
I don't know if it's money.
It's money. It's money. And it's Gwen trying to keep herself together. But check this out, Tom. Check this out. When we come back, we were privileged to get the man who created this network from scratch, David Hill, president of Fox Sports. We're going to hear from him and get us a behind-the-scenes control room tour. Don't cut me off, baby.
Okay, I have to cut you off. You've been going on forever.
No,
we are submitting Gwen's name in the Best Supporting Actress category, by the way.
Thank you very much, honey.
Spencer Garbett joins us now. He's in Knoxville, Tennessee, alongside Phil Williams and Colvin Idle, the gang from Classic Rock 103.5 FM, as the Breakfast Time Anytime Tour continues across the country with some of the finest radio stations in the land. Spencer?
Good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you want this. We're here at the University of Tennessee, and that freedom over there is Lee Ryle, University of Tennessee, University of Alabama. There's a Farragut High School there, the Farragut band. All right, and we also have 103.5 Classic Rock. Here we have Phil Williams, and we have Idol, Mr. Idol, Culver Items here with us, and we also have, for the Breakfast Time Anytime Bowl, the contestants are getting ready. They're getting all chalked up. The Breakfast Time Anytime Bowl, so join us later for bobbing for football.
Thank God that's the bowl they're talking about.
Yeah, and breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But what we're doing with some of the top radio stations across the country, they encourage their listeners to remember what the word of the day is on any given day that Jim gives you, of course, every day here. And then they draw names of their listeners who've remembered the word of the day when called, and they participate in these contests that we are covering for you periodically. Right now, we're going to slow things down just a bit, but all with your health in mind, because we're going across the street to Madison Square Park, and I'll be out there later participating in and sharing with you the benefits of Tai Chi. Now, as you can see, it is almost a poetic movement discipline.
Looks like the Spandex Rangers on Thorazine.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Where's Gwen when you need her?
I tell you. But it is, as it says there, a state of mind and body. We'll be going through Tai Chi discipline in Madison Square Park a little later on. Or, heck, we might just spring for some Thorazine. I don't know which way we'll go with this. But right now, let's take a look at some of today's top stories.
Thanks, Tom. In the news today, former Haitian military leader Raul Cedras is going into exile in Panama. Cedras, his wife, and their 3 children left the Caribbean nation earlier this morning on a U.S. military flight. Meanwhile, exiled President Jean-Bertrand Aristide is scheduled to return to Haiti this coming Saturday. In Stockholm, Sweden, the Nobel Prize for Literature is being announced today, while the Nobel Peace Prize will be announced tomorrow. Yesterday, the Nobel Physics Prize went to an American and a Canadian for developing a method for studying the building blocks of matter. Closer to home, in Denver, Colorado, it's day 4 of the teacher strike. After 9 hours of negotiation yesterday, 5 of the 7 major strike issues were agreed upon, but salary issues remain unresolved. And it's the 12th day of the National League Hockey lockout. So far, 65 games have been missed this season, and there are no new talks scheduled between the players and the owners. And Snoop Doggy Dogg is releasing a new 18-minute music video, and it's getting an NC-17 rating. That's because the new video, Murder Was the Case, contains nudity, murders, drug use, and tons of cursing. The rapper is planning to release the video on pay-per-view and to video after screening parties in New York and Los Angeles later this month. And let's look at some of today's top stories.
In the news, of course, Raul Cedras took 2 chartered flights out of Haiti yesterday for he and his entourage, and apparently the in-flight meal was crow.
Oh.
Let's take a look at the weather in your neck of the woods.
Yes, and today, here's a special surprise for you. Our weather is sponsored by Nestle.
Yeah.
That's right. And there you go. And this is Nestle refrigerated cookie dough, the very best in every bite. And in honor of them, what we have is the cookie of precipitation in the southeast and the gingerbread man of precipitation in the northwest. But also, you know, when you use this cookie dough, what happens is it rises. So the rain is rising. The cookie dough of rain is rising. Okay, get this out of there. And then what we have now is, actually we have yesterday's high temperature things.
How much are they paying for this?
No, that's right.
Nestle must be so proud.
No, because you know what it is? I was waiting for the cookies to rise before I fixed them out.
I bet you were.
No, but it's very simple here. See where that 50s is? Well, it's just expanded. It's a fatter area.
Okay.
So if you're in the vicinity, it's cold. Everywhere else is 60s and 70s anyway, and that's the weather.
Why do I have the sneaking suspicion that after today's show, some executive at Nestle is going to lose his or her job?
It's the very best in every bite.
What's the matter with you?
What am I doing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's only tea. I'm not sure.
Hiccuping, for goodness sake, which can be one of the most socially embarrassing things. It's really annoying to get the hiccups. So after the break, Dr. Ron Hoffman's going to join us. He's going to tell us why we get the hiccups and what we can do to get rid of them.
Robert's not paying the least bit of attention to the show.
And nor should he. I really
Ted Kennedy had an alien child.
Yeah, so what else?
Well, that explains the weight gain anyway.
Yeah. We're also going to go back to Los Angeles and head out with Gwen McGee, who's at the NFL Fox Studios.
Nice earrings.
Kerouac is history. Charles Carroll has pulled over. That leaves us. FX, on the road, every day.
Hair that is free-flowing, like the sea, living in harmony with light, dancing in its shadows. Fit, vibrant hair, nourished and cared for by the elements of our earth. This is Paul Mitchell hair.
Receive a gift of 4 extra ounces with your 8-ounce purchase of Paul Mitchell Fast Drying Sculpting Spray or Freeze and Shine Super Spray. 1-800-321-JPMS. At Paul Mitchell Signature Salons only.
Why get only half the workout on an ordinary treadmill when you could get a total body workout? Introducing the incredible new WalkFit from Nordic Track. WalkFit's unique design lets you exercise your upper body and lower body at the same time. You get a fast, effective, total body workout that burns up to 1,000 calories per hour. Whether your goal is to lose weight, tone muscles, or relieve stress, you can do it all with the WalkFit Total Body Treadmill from Nordic Track. WalkFit gives you a 53% greater cardiovascular workout than on ordinary treadmills, and you can burn up to 79% more calories. And WalkFit has no motor. It's safe and easy to use. Unlike motorized treadmills, you control the pace. There's no herky-jerky starts and stops. Call our toll-free number now and receive a free information-packed video and full-color brochure showing how you can get started on an enjoyable exercise program you'll stick with. Don't settle for half the workout when you can get a superior total body workout with Nordic Track's WalkFit. Call today and get a 30-day in-home trial and 2-year limited warranty. After all, it's from Nordic Track.
Sports fans, you've seen the best. Now Marv Albert's here to show you the rest.
Lots of horsing around in the world of sport.
There's 45 minutes of non-stop fun in Marv's great new video, the hilarious Albert Achievement Award. And best of all, your video's free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. In this great new video, Marv captures all the amazing footwork, agility, grace, and power that makes sports so much fun to watch.
Hysterical.
Call now, and you'll also get your choice of an authentic NFL Pro Line hat. Free. Pick your favorite team. It's up to you. The Albert Achievement Awards video and the NFL hat of your choice make a great gift for yourself or your favorite sports fan. And it comes with 54 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.47 an issue. You save over 50% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Nobody's into sports like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
We got Freddie in the apartment. Hey, my hiccups are gone.
Your hiccups are gone, and so are most of your internal organs.
Not to mention Nestle.
Nestle's gone, too.
God, I love that sponsor, too.
And had they watched any of your weather before?
Clearly not.
All right.
No, but the cookie dough is predictable.
Yeah, well, there's that. There is that.
Tom,
Yes, Bob.
there's reports of a gunshot from the account executive's office.
Right now, we're going back to Los Angeles and the home of Fox Football Productions. Gwen McGee has been out on the West Coast all week. Now, Gwen, I understand that you were unable to cajole Terry Bradshaw and David Hill, the president of Fox Sports, out of bed at this early hour, so you took some precautionary measures.
Yes, I did. But you know, Tom, to go into this control room like this, you have to have special permission. And to get a tour from a VIP who created Fox Sports from scratch is like almost unheard of. So who you're going to hear from now is David Hill, president of Fox Sports, and he's going to take us on a tour of NFL on Fox Live from Sunday.
You taped this, right?
Yes, I did. I mean, you can't just mess around. It's like power stuff here. Okay, so we taped it. We were privileged to have David Hill. So please carefully roll the tape. This is big time.
Careful.
Scotty is the producer. He's the coordinating studio producer. And he kind of has got to keep every game that's happening in his head. So he's got to be aware of what's happening at each second in every game. So he's just kind of got everything there. Now, next to Bob on Bob's right is Jonathan Jackson, who is the technical director. And what Jonathan does, again, he's probably one of the most experienced technical directors in the world. He's working on a vision mixer known as a Grass Valley 3000, and he's the one who creates all the look and feel of the program. And when Bob tells him to cut a camera, Jonathan is the one that does the effect in and the effect out. And as you can see, he's got so much technological equipment there, it's rather like NASA control room. Up the back here, on the far side of the desk, it's where all the graphic information comes up on the screen, so that the Bonnie and Kath, and they're working with Gary and John. What they do is that they keep an eye on all the games, and what they're doing is making sure that the scores and everything the viewers see on the screen come through. David Blatt, who's sitting next to the computer technology, again, he's going across all the games. So again, he knows what's happening on a split-second basis and making sure that the commercials roll in. And the person that really runs this, the entire operation, is Janice Delson, who's sitting here rocking. This is the famous rock. Now, she's the one who makes sure that all the games come in at the same time at halftime, and she talks to all the remotes and talks to all the producers and directors. She's normally very serious, and that she makes sure that everything works. So again, that this entire operation is geared to making Fox Sports as best as possible.
Well, thank you very much. But you know, I can't leave here without asking about all of these television monitors. I mean, how many games are you covering today?
Well, today we've got 4 early games and 1 late. But when it's really rocking and rolling is when we've got 4 early games and 4 late games, and we've got 8 games coming in. So we do the pre-game show here, then we do all the games as you've seen, and you can see what you're looking at right now. That's the Fox boxes in every scoreboard in the country, so that we know exactly to the second exactly what's happening in every game at any given time, AFC and NFC games.
Now, Tom, they cut out early, but you know, David Hill is power, the epitome of power in Hollywood, and I couldn't cut him off. Anthony, the producer from Britain, he couldn't cut him off. Nobody can cut off David. You can get fired for cutting David Hill off. So New York cut him off. That's y'all's business, okay?
When I have to cut you off, huh?
You cut me off. David Hill off. I'm out of it, okay? I'm clear. All right? But you enjoy that, Tom? How was that?
That was very good. That was very...
That Gwen McGee's pretty good out there on that tape stuff, huh?
Yeah. Gwen is at the control booth for Fox Sports Productions in Los Angeles, and that's the kind of pressure I would imagine that could give you facial tics, could give you, I don't know, maybe even hiccups, Lori.
What's amazing is that Fox Sports actually survived Gwen's visit on set without hiccups. Hiccups are those annoying little spasms you get. You never know when they're going to happen. It could be when you eat too fast. It could be when you drink something the wrong way. Anyway, it is something that can make you sound like the town drunk if you're not careful. And you end up doing a lot of really silly things to try to get rid of them. Dr. Ron Hoffman is with us today to tell us exactly what hiccups are and give us some interesting methods of how to get rid of them. Hi, Ron.
Hi, Laurie.
So what are hiccups?
Well, hiccups are really a matter of what's going on in your brain. The brain sends signals down to an organ called the diaphragm. The diaphragm is what moves your lungs up and down when you breathe. It's a very powerful muscle that acts as a bellows to propel your breathing. So these are the lungs. Let's get rid of the lungs so we can see the diaphragm better here.
Oh, Robert can do that. He's had 6 films practice ripping those.
Rip your lungs out.
I think I work with this guy.
Well, he's unhappy because he's been having hiccups for many days now, and he's lost a lot of sleep. Actually, that would be a reason to go to a doctor about hiccups, because sometimes hiccups are serious. Usually they're self-limited. They last only about
They don't last that long.
usually last about a half an hour or so. They just go away. This is the diaphragm. The diaphragm, when you have hiccups, goes into spasms, and it gives you the feeling that your stomach is kind of jerking around. Now, what happens is there's a brain signal that goes through a nerve down to the diaphragm, and that triggers the hiccup. So often it's a matter of what's going on in the brain. Sometimes laughing while you're eating or eating too quickly can prompt hiccups, or being drunk can prompt hiccups
So
too.
is it something from the brain? Can mind over matter take care of them if you take your mind off it?
Yes, indeed. There's some techniques that you can use to deal with hiccups. Some of them are the time-worn techniques, but really a technique of breathing I've found very helpful, which is to take a breath inward, but a quick breath, and then
Long one out.
a long one out, and do a series of breaths, controlled breaths. And after a while, you can relax your diaphragm. Another way of doing that, a simple way of doing that, if you're not expert at breathing this way, is to just breathe through a bag, because automatically this will send a signal to your brain to relax your breathing. You just... And eventually, the carbon dioxide that accumulates in the bag will change your pattern of breathing.
Oh, okay.
Of course, you can shock someone, you can scare someone. Sometimes that works because it's a pattern of distraction. It changes the way that you breathe. Another way that you can change the way you breathe is by swallowing sugar.
This is what my mother used to make us do,
Yeah.
a teaspoon of sugar.
Well, the way that it works is that it affects the swallowing reflex in a special kind of way. And so that provides a little bit of a distraction to the brain, and it changes the rhythm of breathing. There's also an acupressure technique. There's an acupuncture technique with needles, but an acupressure technique. This is a point called Neguan. It's 3 finger breaths from your wrist crease, and you measure it up, and there's 2 tendons that go through here, and you press down, and by pressing this, when you have hiccups, it sometimes works, helps to relieve that.
Laurie, come to.
What about the age-old drinking a glass of water upside down?
Do it. You know, any type...
You think I can, but I'm actually really good.
On a dare. Any type of technique that changes the way that you swallow.
Billy Baldwin.
It's a matter of using the swallowing reflex in a unique way to distract the brain and change the whole pattern of response. And that could work, too. So there's a million ways that you can get rid of hiccups.
If hiccups last for more than, say, an hour, should you be concerned?
Not so much an hour, but if hiccups last through an entire day, or if they recur over a pattern of several days, or if they interfere with sleep or eating, then you should see a doctor. Sometimes powerful medications are necessary to treat hiccups, or they may be a sign of an underlying disease. So get to your doctor if they persist.
You hear that, Jim?
Yeah, what?
Ron, thank you very much. Always a pleasure. Tom?
Jim was on the phone with Nestle's.
Holding his apology letter. Yeah.
That's right. Jim, while you're stammering, how about a word of the day?
Oh, hey, that's right. And there's a good thing about this today, because regular watchers of Breakfast Time Anytime know that this is not when we do Word of the Day normally.
Right.
Even I didn't know. I'm like, word of the day? No, Tom, it's thought of the day.
That's right. And there's a reason that it's now. Maestro, may we have the word? It is... Abrogate.
Mm-hmm.
And that means to cancel or to appeal by authority, to annul. So by my own executive action, I canceled the captain.
Oh.
And inserted, I abrogated the captain's spot.
See, we have the Captain Kangaroo come on every day and give us some words of wisdom. Thoughts of the day, since he is the king of morning television, of course.
Me without my Scrabble board.
Now, I know that you abrogated this, Jim, but did you get any authorization from Jerry or Paul or the people above?
See, it's always these details that are throwing me off, you know.
Yeah.
But The captain, I think you'll see, will abrogate me later on.
Yeah, probably.
So, you know, so it's like
And
one...
besides, the man who'll take on Nestle's isn't going to be afraid of Jerry and Paul.
That's right. We're gonna be alienating one Fortune 500 company every day on Breakfast Time Anytime. That's our new goal.
It'll be a lot of fun.
And also, Robert Englund, we're going to sit and chat and take a look at Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
New Nightmare.
Freddy's dead?
Not.
That's all coming up.
Terrific stuff. So please stick around. We got a lot more breakfast time on the way.
Robert Englund, Freddy, Terror, Tai Chi, Relaxation, Yin and Yang, Breakfast Time, anytime.
Just how well does the pet department fit into our FX family? We have a green hornet. The pet department has a green lizard. We have a bat in a cage. It has a bird in a cage. Diana, Wonder Woman. Jack, Wonder Dog. Heart to heart, beat to beat, breakfast time, chow time, vital news, vital tips, personal hobbies, personal grooming, hot tracks, road tests, yes! It's a perfect fit. Steve and Jack, the pet department. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m., 1:30 Central on FX. I should have these little chats with myself more often.
Why settle for half a workout on an ordinary treadmill when you can get a superior total body workout? Introducing the incredible new WalkFit from Nordic Track. Unlike ordinary treadmills, WalkFit's unique design lets you exercise your upper body and lower body at the same time. You get a fast, effective total body workout that burns up to 1,000 calories per hour. Whether your goal is to lose weight, tone muscles, or relieve stress, you can do it all with the WalkFit total body treadmill from Nordic Track. Clinical tests show you can burn up to 79% more calories than with ordinary treadmills, up to 1,000 calories per hour. The unique upper body motion and lower body resistance actually results in a 53% greater cardiovascular workout than with ordinary treadmill. And WalkFit has no motor. It's safe and easy to use. Unlike motorized treadmills, you control the pace. There's no herky-jerky starts and stops. The WalkFit has separate resistance settings for arms and legs, so you can design a workout that's right for you. With its quality oak construction and sturdy 14-gauge steel poles, WalkFit is really built to last. And you get a 30-day in-home trial and 2-year limited warranty. It's easy to enjoy Nordic Track's WalkFit in your own home.
Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Calling this number right now could be the best thing you'll ever do for yourself. Nordic Track is America's leading fitness company, and we have a fitness solution that's right for you. So call now for a free video and brochure.
You know regular total body exercise combined with a sensible diet helps you burn more calories so you can lose weight safely and keep it off. Why wait a minute longer? Call our toll-free number now and receive a free information-packed video and full-color brochure showing how you can get started on an exercise program you'll really enjoy and stick with. Don't settle for half a workout when you can get the superior total body workout you've always wanted with WalkFit from America's #1 fitness company, Nordic Track. Call today. After all, it's from Nordic Track.
FX is the world's first living television network. FX, we got a whole lot of shows that only live here. FX, TV live all day, every day, from our very lively apartment.
Get up, put your shoes on, and let's go.
Each day, FX is live for 7 hours, with live hosts every hour. Breaking news as it happens, and all in living color.
Gasp and swoon, I just caught the vapors.
What's your point?
FX is the first living television network.
The $300,000 spent on football figure does not include Fox's investment in the NFL. Not by a long shot.
Thank you, Jim. So, you know, I'm very excited. Oh, Lori's putting on makeup over there. Oh, sorry, picking stuff out of her teeth. That's the second time in our brief history we've caught her in the bathroom doing something she didn't want us to get it. So I'm very excited that Robert Englund, who's played Freddy Krueger in all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, is going to be my guest on the show. Then I'm getting ready for the show, and they've laid out my shirt for the day. And, you know, imagine my surprise when it's all ripped asunder. But that's the nature of some of the guests we have on here. And here's a brief look at Robert in action from Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Can I come over?
Actually, Heather, today's no good. There's something I have to finish. Tomorrow, maybe, huh?
Okay, tomorrow. But early in the morning. Meanwhile, Robert, take care, okay?
Yeah. Sure.
I wear those sunglasses. I paint stuff like that, too. Robert Englund. That certainly is. How about Amber Freddy Krueger? Robert Englund here with us. I have to tell you, I loved you in V, in the series that did not last long enough, of course.
I'd just like to be remembered for something when I had hair.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now,
My 70s perm.
Let's talk about this, because the last one was the last one, Robert. There was like, it was number 6, and it was the final one, and you were giving interviews, and Freddie's dead, and that's it.
Well, I lost my credibility, but it was the way I'm rationalizing it, it was the last Elm Street. Freddie has left Elm Street now, and he's gone to Hollywood.
Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, you're going to get sort of a Clinton reputation for saying one thing and then just going off. Now, in this one, as we saw, we didn't see you as Freddie, though. We saw you as you, and therein lies the central plot device.
We all play ourselves in this one. The actress Heather Langenkamp, who a lot of people probably remember as Nancy Kerrigan.
I have to tell you, I saw her yesterday when I was at a screening, and she's remarkably like Nancy in terms of appearance. I mean, it's eerie.
It's eerie, and she played her. It was funny, on the set, every time we'd work with eels or do some special effect, she would, like, start her crying like Nancy Kerrigan after she got whacked. Why me? Heather would fall down, and we'd all have to start again. I thought Freddie was
going to club her in the knee, actually.
Get her good. He did a couple of times, actually,
True.
But we all, actually, in the film, Wes Craven's concept was that Freddie comes to Hollywood to slay all of his creators and stop the sequels.
Right,
you know,
right.
Save me from being a liar.
Yeah. He's obviously on the payroll of some critics, I guess. I don't know what's But that's Wes Craven's original idea, going back now to the first film, was based on an actual story, wasn't it?
A series of articles in the L.A. Times about Cambodian refugees that had come to the States, escaped the threat of the Khmer Rouge, and in their home country, in rural Laos, they were able to wake up if they had a nightmare and write a poem or write it down as a short story or maybe song lyrics and purge themselves of whatever was troubling them in their sleep. But they were disoriented here in the States, in the Midwest or wherever they were, and they were dying in their sleep. And Wes read these articles, so it's based on a true thing.
And this really is, when you think about it, where are we at our most vulnerable? When we are unconscious, asleep, supposedly nestled in a safe surrounding.
Yeah, this is like this is the safe room. This
Right.
is the nest,
Right.
And who violates it? Yours truly.
And
my turf.
Now, again, you mentioned earlier in the show, it's a 4.5-hour makeup job to become Freddy Krueger.
That's just to be Freddy Krueger. That's if they don't, plant goat bladders underneath me to inflate my head or something. Or they had this one rig on Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, which was the souls of my children escaped from me. And it was like I had a bunch of bobs under me, coming out. That was 7 hours in the tree. Yeah. What, Bob?
See, my family works in show business.
Yeah. Now, what's the last actual nightmare you had?
The last nightmare, I think it was just before showing up for here today. Looking at the call time.
And does doing the movie give you, does it frighten you on any level at all? You playing you in this film, you were frightened by the prospect of Freddy Krueger.
I was just afraid that they would show my bald spot, actually. I kept acting like this.
Yeah. Oh, hey,
yes,
there's no bald spot.
I need a little bit. What is that, Rogaine? Rogaine for me and my men.
There's nothing up there. It's all hair. It's all hair, Robert. Don't worry.
It is.
Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. It's Wes Craven's new nightmare. It opens tomorrow in theaters near you. You want to stick around for a while?
Oh, I'd love to.
All right. Just rip it apart. Pretend you're Johnny Depp. Roy?
Johnny was in the first one.
He was sucked up by a bed, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
That's right. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to take a look at today's headline.
Thanks, Tom. In the news today, U.S. Defense Secretary William Perry is in Kuwait to discuss ways to prevent another Iraqi invasion. Meanwhile, the U.S. is retreating from a suggested no-tank zone near the Kuwaiti border and is now suggesting Iraq limit troops and heavy equipment near that border. In Los Angeles, jury selection continues today in the O.J. Simpson double murder case. Yesterday, prospective jurors acknowledged they've been inundated by publicity about the case. Defense and prosecutors agreed to dismiss 6 people yesterday. A new study shows surgery to fix nearsightedness may end up making some people farsighted and needing reading glasses sooner. The study says about 250,000 people a year have radial keratotomy to improve distance vision, but about 43% of the eyes operated on for RK gradually shifted towards farsightedness. And the Eagles guitarist Glenn Fry is recovering after abdominal surgery to relieve pain from inflammation of the colon. Fray's surgery forced a postponement of the Eagles concert tour, but they will be back on the road later this year. And that is a look at some of today's top stories.
He's got that Hollywood look, the jacket slung over his shoulder. Robert Englund has yet more interviews to do today, so you have the Sinatra look. How about a hand for Robert Englund, our special guest on Breakfast Time anytime. Thanks, Robert. Okay. Thanks. Don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep, Jim. It's sponsored weather. You got to make good.
That's right. And this isn't just Nestle's nightmare. This is also a nightmare weather for people in the southeast. Because, as you can see, these fingers of precipitation, these sort of blades of, oh, wait a minute, is that 6? Let's go to those high temperatures. Okay, now these high temperatures are pretty accurate if you just make that 50s thing a lot bigger and add another 50s thing in the northwest and along the Minnesota northern border there. The rest is 60s and 70s. It's pretty nice. That's the weather.
Thank you very much, Jim. You know, lawyers aren't the only vultures living in today's society. Heck no. In fact, we have some videotape of some vultures that are living in a mall. Can we roll that, please? Believe it or not, these birds are roosting at the Oaks Shopping Mall in Thousand Oaks, California. And actually, vultures are showing up more and more all over the country in different places. And it's becoming almost a trend. Today with us we have Julie Taylor from the Vermont Institute of National Science. Which one's Julie? You Julie?
Yep.
Hi, nice to meet you. What's your name? Charity Human. Charity, hi, how are you? Never mind. She's got raw meat in her hand. And this, of course, is Sunshine the turkey vulture. Can you tell me a bit about Sunshine? Is it a male or female? Or?
We don't actually know what sex she is. You have to surgically sex them because they have all their organs inside. But she's 2.5 years old. She was hatched the spring of '92.
And you call her a she for lack of better word.
Exactly, yep. Yeah. She actually was brought to the World Bird Sanctuary in St. Louis, Missouri, where people said they had found her at the side of the road as a chick. Oh. And what we don't know is that she's imprinted on people, socialized with people. So she was hand-raised by people and doesn't really know she's a turkey vulture.
She's not the visual that I think of when I think of vultures with the big looming sort of, can she get to that stature, or is that basically the way
No,
she is?
this is how she is. Very curious, very social creatures. They don't eat live things. They eat dead food.
Now, vultures are thriving in the U.S. right now. Can you speculate on why?
Actually, it's interesting. Scientists don't really know why, but they think perhaps it's because there's a warmer climate, especially in the Northeast. So they've been able to move further north because it's warmer. There's an increase in the white-tailed deer population, so there's more roadkill available, more food available. They seem to work with people pretty well.
Now, you said they won't eat anything live. So the little valley girls that are at the Thousand Oaks Mall aren't in danger of being carried off if they happen to be. You know?
They're not designed like an eagle or a hawk. They don't have feet that are designed for killing prey. They've got feet basically like a chicken. And they're just designed for picking meat off of bones.
No, and we have some meat there. Do you think we can get Sunshine to eat? She's hungry. What are some of the common myths about vultures that people have that should be dispelled?
Well, they think that they can kill prey, and they don't at all. The only time they might is if it's a small animal that's injured and can't get away from them, pretty much. Their feet here, as we said, are very, very weak, and they just pick. That's all they do is pick. They don't have the strength to kill.
What about their temperament? Are they nice birds?
This bird, yeah, they seem to be pretty nice. I mean, this bird here is socialized on people. It doesn't have a physical injury. It is just socialized on people, which is why it's not in the wild. Right. So this bird here is not afraid of us.
Others, though?
In general, yes, they're very afraid of people. That's a big myth with birds of prey around, is people think that they're going to attack people, or they're small children, but they wouldn't do that.
Right. Now, what if a vulture happens to move into your backyard anywhere in the Northeast or across the country? Should you call somebody, or should you just let them nest where they want?
They'll be fine. They're probably there because there's good food around.
So that's what maybe you should be concerned about. Okay, listen, thank you very much. Did you come all the way from Vermont?
Yes, we did.
Thank you very much for coming in today. Charity?
Yes.
Somebody ordered in.
Look at that smoky thing happening. Tom? Oh, Tom.
Lunch and meat. Lunch and meat.
You're supposed to be very calm around the vultures, Tom.
Num, num. Look. Robert Englund got to him first. You want second?
I think he wants
He's
to
thinking
feed
about it.
This may be an ad lib I live to regret, but barely. Bob Keeshan, Captain Kangaroo, may have been abrogated earlier, but he's here now with his thought for the day.
Life is a tragedy when seen in close-up, but a comedy when seen in a long shot. Charlie Chaplin, the little tramp himself.
In that case, a long shot, Mike. A long shot. There you go. Jim, what else do we have coming up?
We have a bizarre contest in Knoxville, Tennessee, and Frank Kranz's classroom takes on the mystery of breakfast time anytime.
The Green Hornet has an incredible disguise, nifty gadgets, and a cool mystery car. But FX knows the real reason you watch is to see Kato kick butt. Nobody move. Kick back with Kato and the Green Hornet. Weekends at 5:30, 4:30 Central, exclusively on FX.
He's not an infant anymore.
Down here.
He's not yet a big boy.
Here we go.
He's a toddler.
There we go.
Too big for a bottle, not big enough for a glass. This is just right. New Next Step Toddler Formula from the makers of Enfamil.
Smile big.
Specially designed for toddlers with the Iron Cow's Milk Lab.
Oh, boy.
After the bottle, before the milk. New Next Step Toddler Formula. In soy, too.
Right now, Cheryl Chapman isn't thinking about antioxidant vitamins. She hasn't read the numerous studies on the role of antioxidant vitamins in reducing the risk of some types of cancer. And she doesn't know one of the most important antioxidant vitamins, vitamin C, is found in Florida orange juice. She just knows she likes it. 100% pure Florida orange juice. To your health.
There's nothing in the world like coming home.
Did you remember the Sara Lee pie?
Warm cinnamon apple filling, golden flaky crust. Don't come home without it.
Nobody doesn't like Sara Lee.
What's for breakfast?
Toast.
Where? What's the occasion?
Can toast be exciting? It can if it's covered with Smucker's strawberry preserves. Smucker's makes it special, because with a name like Smucker's, it has to be good.
Oh, Johnny.
This is Bob. What Bob doesn't know is that he doesn't have to go hitchhiking all over the country for interesting things to see and do. All he has to do is watch FX. Because every day FX hits the road in search of cool stuff you probably won't see anywhere else. And they take you there live. Not that hitchhiking to exciting places is bad. FX just does it better.
Where are you going, guys? Don't these look like eyeballs?
FX, on the road every day.
Stop that.
Vultures are nature's way of saying, beauty may only be skin deep, but ugly goes right to the bone.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, you say that now that the vulture's on
That's
here.
all right. I waited.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailers for the new movie Exit to Eden?
No.
Rosie O'Donnell and Dan Aykroyd, and they play two cops.
And
undercover
Dana
cops.
Delaney.
Dana Delaney. You obviously have seen
Man,
them.
I've seen some stills of her in
They
that,
go
yeah.
to they go undercover to this place that is sort of like an S&M island camp where people go and, there's dominatrix there and whips and chains and leather and, it's all in the pursuit of exciting facts, basically.
Laurie,
Yeah.
they're using those still shots of Rosie O'Donnell as a birth control device.
Thanks. The scheduled appearance of Rosie O'Donnell canceled. But the film is too risque for parts of Canada. One of the provinces, Saskatchewan, has banned the movie, saying that it's the portrayal of sexual domination is just a little too much.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's strange because it got like a PG-13 rating.
It probably won't run in Raritan. Is that right? Raritan,
Yeah.
New Jersey. Did you hear this one?
Oh, but there was swearing?
They've banned cursing.
Yeah.
In Raritan, New Jersey.
In public.
Oh, gosh.
Darn it all.
Balderdash.
$500 fine, 90 days in jail if you're caught cursing in public.
Wow.
Or dressing like Dana Delaney. Both things. Those things can get you in trouble. We are on the Breakfast Time Anytime Tour, and we're hooking up with great radio stations around the country. Jim is actually a co-conspirator in this because his word of the day figures prominently in how our radio stations are getting their listeners to participate in incredible bits. Now, in Knoxville, Tennessee, Spencer is with the gang from Classic Rock WIMZ 103.5 FM, Phil Williams and Colvin Idle, and you're not going to believe what they're having their poor listeners do. Spencer?
Hey, how are you? This
Good.
weekend in Knoxville, Tennessee, in that stadium that holds 95,000 people, and the locals say they're fixing to hold more, is a big rivalry between the University of Tennessee and the University of Alabama. So we're here to celebrate that. We're here with our own little bowl. But first, we want to talk to the starting quarterback at the University of Tennessee, Peyton Manning. How are you today? You ready for the game?
I got to be. I think so. Obviously, a big game with Alabama coming in here, so everybody's real excited around here.
Yeah, now your father's Archie Manning, and is he going to be watching the game there?
He's going to come up. He and my mom both support me in the most way, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, great. Well, we're going to have our own little bowl game here, so you're welcome to come and join us, all right? All right, here's our rowdy contestants here. They're all ready to go. They're a little sleepy. We're here with 103.5 WIMZ. This is Mr. Colvin Idle, and this is Mr. Phil Williams here. He'll be commentating with us from Classic Rock 103.5. And this is the Breakfast Time Anytime Bowl. The object of this game, we have 6 contestants here. We have a gigantic bowl of cereal, strawberries, footballs, and Cheerios, and real milk. Look. Oh, yum, yum. The object of the game is to get these footballs, not using your hands, not using your spoon, but using your mouth. No hands, no spoon, just your mouth. In 30 seconds, the person who gets the most footballs with their mouth will win. Here are our hungry contestants, and we actually have an official somewhere. Here he is, the official, Eddie Powers. Are there any regulations here?
The hands behind your back, and you can't pick up the balls with the tag on the ball.
All right, no tag, no tags, none of that. All right, so you're going to kick us off here? Everybody ready? All right, kick us off here.
Okay, let's have just a moment of silence for the greatest bobber of all time, Lorena, and on your mark. Get set, bob!
And they're off. There, commentators here, Phil.
Yeah.
What are they doing? What are they doing?
Well, it appears to me that number 5 is getting
grown up.
there. We've got one off here from I can't see the number 6, not doing too well.
Probably
as
they
he
can't
attempts
even
to get
see
well
where they are after
with
they
the
take goggles down.
the other youth over there. It's kind of tough to
getting
tell what's going
creamed.
on.
It looks like they're drowning there. They're drowning. They're drowning.
Oh, look at the milk coming off the head of this guy here. This big guy's doing
I think his goggles are filling up there. Oh, my God. They look hungry, don't they?
Yes, indeed. It looks like a football.
Oh, how much time is left? Time is almost up. Time is running out. What do you have to say there, Colvin?
I think the big guy over here's got an advantage, and I hear the whistle blowing. Time is.
All right, that's it.
Yeah.
Do we have a winner? Do we have a winner?
Well, let's see. They got the scores around here.
All right, we're tabulating scores. Do we have a winner in this, Bob? How do you feel, sir? How do you feel?
Wet.
He feels wet. He looks wet.
He looks
We have a winner
lactose
here.
intolerant.
We have a winner? We're trying to tabulate a winner. Who is it? This is the winner. What's your name, sir?
Jason Hipsher.
All right, he's the winner. And number, what's that? 11 footballs.
Hey,
All
Jason.
right. How do you feel?
Feel good. My girlfriend said I'm crazy, though.
You are crazy. All right, we have a few more heats and a few more bobbing and a few more balls to be scooped out of this delicious bowl of Cheerios and footballs. And when we come back, these contestants are playing for 2 tickets to the big game between UT and University of Alabama and a trip to New York City. So we'll be back with more craziness.
All right.
Thanks, Spencer.
Thanks, Spencer and the gang at Classic Rock 103.5 FM in Knoxville, Tennessee. Wouldn't you like to be in the last seat after everybody else has put their face in that
Oh,
milk?
yeah. Well, instead of taking a dip into the cereal bowl, let's take a dip into the mailbag, shall we?
Dear Breakfast Time, writes James Orlowski of Ambridge, Pennsylvania. James, thank you. Here's a picture I thought you'd like to see or try to see. It is a stereogram, a computer-generated 3-dimensional image that you can see without traditional glasses. Now, apparently it becomes clear based on where you stare and how long you stare. For those of you who can't do it right away, and we should actually move along, James, you understand, here is a printed version of the image without the 3D effect placed over it. The concealed image is the FX logo.
Wow, that's
Breakfast
cool.
time, anytime. James, thanks a lot.
That's not what it was.
Hey,
I saw Elvis.
You just talk to the Nestle people, mister, and keep your face out of the mailbag, all right?
Yeah, Elvis called, Jim. They said strike two.
Jennifer Miller of South Bend, Indiana, wrote to say, I was wondering if the creator of the Empathy Belly also made one for the twin fathers-to-be.
This was the device I wore last week to simulate some of the physical effects of pregnancy in the 8th month.
And if so, Tom, would you be willing to wear it for the duration of one of your shows? If not, I think Bob should wear it for a while. Yes, this is, I guess Jennifer
I'm already
had,
dragging enough back here.
And here they are.
She even sent a picture of herself showing the thrills of late term before delivering.
These are the twins.
So those are the twins.
Brandon and Kevin.
This is the praying for salvation picture that Jennifer
Fridge
sent
art.
us.
We love getting stuff for the fridge and things that we can hang up or put around the apartment. If you send us something and we read it on the air, we will send you a FX T-shirt.
Where do they write to?
They should write to us. Oh, man, I was just thinking of that position there.
I bet you
Breakfast time anytime. P.O. Box 824, Madison Square Station, New York, New York, 10159-0824. Or they can call us at 212-802-4054. Or you can fax us at 212-802-4208.
Wait a minute. Keep our music going. Wait, Ryan, let's go. Pump it up.
Yeah.
Come on, Ryan.
Yeah, come on. Oh, come on.
It's your dancing that did it, Paul.
Get a doctor, there's no pulse.
Jim, what's coming up on the show?
That's right. We have Einstein's Space-Time Made Clear and Fox's NFL teams here and now. And on Sunday, breakfast time anytime.
One host with a host of perspectives.
You go back and forth on the beta-carotenes. One study says one thing, one study says the other.
Under Scrutiny with Jane Wallace, only on FX.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran tastes so good, people forget it's nutritious. Why do you eat it?
Nutrition.
Good.
I'm a health nut.
Wheat bran, I love it.
Wait a minute, is this true? 10% more raisins free?
Wow, more raisins?
We're talking about nutrition.
Free raisins? Ooh la la.
That's not important.
Yes, it is. Now Kellogg's Raisin Bran has 10% more raisins, absolutely free.
Forget what it says behind my hand.
10% more raisins. Free!
It's coming. More terror than you've ever felt before. Dare you let it in your library.
Stephen King's newest tale of horror, Insomnia. Now this beautiful $27.95 hardcover is yours for just $7.95 when you join the Stephen King Library. Pet Cemetery, Needful Things, Christine, the Academy Award-winning Misery. Plus Stephen King's newest books as soon as they're published, all in original hardcover editions, all at just $14.95 each, all with a cancel anytime guarantee. Call now, and Insomnia is yours free for 10 days. If you're not terrified, return it and cancel. Otherwise, we'll send you a new volume every 6 weeks, each with a 10-day free trial. There's never an obligation to buy. Summon Insomnia now and enter the unearthly library of Stephen King. Get this skeleton keychain absolutely free when you order now.
Call 1-800-851-3388 now to get Insomnia. That's 1-800-851-3388.
Meet one of the very real people who makes TV fresh daily.
Hi, I'm Claire Carter from Personal FX. Some people have said to me, you do so many different things. What do you really want to be when you grow up? I like doing it all. And that's how I kind of branched out from television to radio to writing. I've done talk shows. I did a home and family show.
At first, it seems a little frivolous, but the skills you develop sticking your head in a milky styrofoam tub, sucking down as many Nerf footballs as you can, will stay with you your whole life.
And that's what they're doing in Knoxville, the Breakfast Time Anytime Tour. We call it that because we're celebrating Breakfast Time being on twice a day, once in the morning for you, and of course in the evening for you. And periodically I talk about the space-time continuum that brings this all to all of you. Now, to illustrate what time can do, here's an apple, just an ordinary apple. Going to cut it into quarters, all right? Now, look at that. It's got a nice green tint to it, particularly for you morning people, don't you think? We're going to find out what the passage of time will do to this unsuspecting apple. Now, the vulture has technically left the apartment, but, you know, some of the people we work with. Let's hide this up here. And morning people, just bear with me if you would, because now, you evening folk, with the space-time distortion, let's get one of our people in the apartment at that time, you're now, to see what that apple looks like.
Ooh, God, it looks red.
Actually, I kind of like that.
You know, time waits for no apple, I guess is the We've gotten letters from you about the space-time continuum. One of my personal favorites came to us from someone who had to leave for work during the morning edition of the show. Nora Chavez of Valley Village, California wrote, I want Tom to know I've experienced the time warp continuum. Just the other day I was watching the show, getting ready to go to work, when Tom said, and the word of the day is, and I turned off the set and went to work. Well, I got home a little later than usual and turned on the TV set to catch the evening show, and wow, Jim said the word of the day.
There you go.
Thanks for a wonderful, inventive, creative, and really cool show. You've experienced it firsthand, but what is it? That is the central question, and that is the topic with Frank Cronson as we enter Mr. Cronson's classroom. Frank?
Hi, welcome, class.
Space-time.
A question already?
Wait till a real question.
Okay. Today we're going to talk about the space-time continuum, which is one aspect of relativity theory.
Right.
Okay. Now, the thing that's outside of our usual way of thinking is that space and time are connected. This is what Einstein worked on. And he realized that the speed of light from various experiments is constant through any frame of reference in empty space. But something happens to time. Time seems to become desynchronized and slow down when something is moving very fast. Now, in our daily frame of reference, we rarely move even a millionth the speed of light, so we don't notice these things. But pretty soon, the next generation of space travel will be happening, and
Bill
we'll be
moved pretty
experiencing
fast
these
the other day at the Roman bathhouse.
Yeah.
Aha, okay.
Not
Now,
fast enough.
we're going to try and graph out the famous twin paradox. What happens is, if one person is staying on Earth, reading a book in their study or whatever, they're not moving through space.
Dr. Frank, how do you spell continuum? Just a question.
Continue.
Ignore him.
They move only through space. They don't move only through time, like this. So they're going to perceive everything proceeding as normal. We're going to. Then, if an astronaut takes off from Earth, travels some extremely fast speed, near the speed of light, and they go out and then they come back, they may be timing the same amount of time, but when they come back, they're going to be much younger. In order to move through space, you borrow some of your velocity through space-time away from time. Some of it gets deflected out into space and away from time. So,
I have a question.
yes, Lori.
Just to take it back a step.
Yes.
If a wheel is spinning really, really fast, and because it's spinning so fast, it looks like it's going slowly. Is that part of the principle?
Oh, that's another effect. That's caused by the speed of transmission of nerve impulses or television impulses. Now, this is very important. When a beam of light or any electromagnetic radiation, like our TV show, right now,
Okay, Frank,
our show is going off into space.
You know, this is taking too much
at the speed of light.
And let's illustrate. Let's illustrate.
Okay, I need 2 volunteers.
All right, Lori?
No, actually, John and Susanna.
Okay, now, why don't you sit in the chair?
Okay. On the book?
No,
I
pick
hope
up the
this
book.
is
Pretend
making
you're
it
in your study reading.
Sit down.
Okay? Now, you'll be the time and space traveler. You start right here. Okay? Now, you pace out 5 paces to the right, and then turn and 5 paces to the left. And we'll go. Ready? On your mark, get set, go. 1. Oh, Suzanne. Go through.
You forgot to say, may I?
You're not a beam of light, so you can't go along that axis. You have to go a little bit through time, and then, okay, good, no, it's a good point.
Gotcha.
Ready? On your mark, get set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Okay, no, what happened was, wait, no, I can see what happened. What happened was you moved wrong.
I did?
Yeah, you were supposed to go, I understand that, okay. You're supposed to 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go this way. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no, she did it right.
You did it right, so that way?
Okay.
Well, then,
Yeah.
because you sped up.
I had
This
to
isn't
speed
the-
up
this isn't-
because this is our first time doing this
And
space-time
Suzanne was
continuum.
taking her steps.
The point is that he only moves through time But Suzanne had to move through space and time. Therefore, she borrowed some of her space-time velocity away from time and into space travel.
Can I talk to you folks? Come here.
Could it be any
Come with me
clearer?
for just a second.
Could it be any
I
clearer?
want you to go lie down now for just a few minutes and forget any of this ever happened.
And when you wake
Just
up, it'll be
forget
10 minutes ago.
Any of this ever happened. It is. In the meantime, are we going to take a break now? In the space-time continuum?
Oh, please.
Lori?
See if we can get Frank to lie down.
Listen, Frank, thank you very much.
Thank you, Frank.
We're a little more confused than we usually are, but it's okay. Right now, we are going to take a little break, have a little mind meld, and we're coming back to the second hour of breakfast time. We're going to take a look at today's headlines, and we're going to do some Tai Chi, which I think is really a good idea.
Want to know something about the music you buy before you buy it?
I like to call it diet grunge.
Want to know what your compadres think?
It's trash.
Want to see rock stars singing in the FX shower?
I lost control and hurt myself.
You're looking for sound effects. Your one-stop show that calls the hits, the misses, and the music mix in between. Even the stuff you-know-who doesn't show you.
MTV wouldn't play you that song.
A fresh perspective on everything. Alternative to country to, well, what would you call this?
David Koresh, he's got a CD out.
Cult classics? It's Sound Effects every night, live at 11, only on FX.
Sports fans, you've seen the best. Now Marv Albert's here to show you the rest.
Lots of horsing around in the world of sports.
There's 45 minutes of non-stop fun in Marv's great new video, the Albert Achievement Award. A hilarious look at the wild and wacky side of sports.
This is great stuff.
It's a real blast. And best of all, your video is free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. The best way to get into the action for more than 24 million readers every week. With every sentence, every picture, you'll get into the passion and excitement of sports all year long. In this great new video, Marv captures all the amazing footwork, agility, grace, and power that makes sports so much fun to watch. Call now and get your hands on Marv's video and see the game as it was not meant to be played.
Hysterical.
You're bound to flip when Marv shows you the best of the word. From the absurd to the ridiculous, the Albert Achievement Awards is a sure hit. Don't hesitate. Get your free video, plus 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, including the swimsuit issue, for only $1.47 an issue. You save over...
Hey, you know Sylvester Stallone is in a movie with Sharon Stone, and they wind up taking a shower together. What gives? I mean, Sharon Stone could come here and do the weather with me, and I bet she wouldn't even have to wash her hands afterwards. I run a clean ship no matter what those Nestle's refrigerated cookie dough people say. No more breakfast time anytime with Laurie Hibbard and Tom Bergeron.
You know, Laurie, I think the Nestle's people knew exactly what they were getting into. They've gotten more mentions on today's show.
No kidding.
I want to do something, Laurie, we haven't done in a while. We used to do a rapid rewind, and then we decided to abandon that for a lot of real good reasons. But I want to see if maybe now that we're out of space with that last segment with Frank Cronson, Laurie, whether we understand it any better. So let's go back in time to just a few minutes ago when Frank was trying to explain the space-time continuum to us all.
You're supposed to do 3.
Paul is the walrus. Paul is the walrus.
Laurie is taking care of it.
You did it right, so that way? Well, then, because...
John is in the chair reading.
Speed up because this is our first time doing this.
Paul is the walrus.
The point is that he only moves through time.
Yeah.
But Suzanne had to move through space.
Oh, it was
and
Suzanne. Well,
time.
Suzanne, I think we
Therefore,
found out Suzanne thwarted
space-time
the
velocity.
space-time continuum somehow. She did an alternate dimension thing, Laurie. That's the best I can figure.
Well, that was my theory too, Tom, quite frankly, and I plan to talk to her about that after. Hey, folks, welcome back to the second hour of breakfast time. We have a lot of terrific stuff. We're going to talk about heartbreaks and how, you know, you sometimes rely on your friends to give you advice, and maybe that might not be such a great idea. So that's coming up later on the show, and some Tai Chi, I believe.
That's right. I've got my jacket on, ready to go out in the park, and Phil and J.D. and Suzanne. Well, we'll give her another chance. She's coming out to the park with us to do some Tai Chi exercise. Very relaxing, spiritual mind-body discipline. But first, let's talk to Gwen McGee out in Los Angeles, California at Fox Sports headquarters. Gwen?
How you doing, Tom?
Good.
So, here's the deal. I used David Hill's name, and now I'm on the floor backstage, behind the scenes, NFL on Fox. So when we come back, what we're going to do is see and get a tour of the NFL on Fox. Not too close, Manny. We don't want to ruin the team. Could you come here for a minute? We're going to get Manny, back up. Can you tell us, this is special. We can't just come in here, right?
This is huge. Hardly anybody gets up here.
Okay, this is a special VIP. Manny, back up. We come back. When we come back, you get a tour of NFL on Fox. Okay, Manny, back up. Go to the bathroom, baby. Back up. Okay, Tom, when we come back.
And you're going to talk to Terry Bradshaw, right?
I'm going to talk to a nice man in a suit. I'll be back.
See, there's evidence of the whole space-time contortion thing. We didn't have to do that segment with Frank. What were we thinking? Spencer Garbett joins us now in Knoxville, Tennessee, with the gang from Classic Rock 103.5 FM. They're our radio station on the Breakfast Time Anytime tour today. Spencer?
This is It's the Breakfast Time Anytime tour. We got Phil Williams from 103.5 Classic Rock here with the WIMC in University of Tennessee. And we have a winner from our second heat from the Breakfast Time Anytime Slurp-O-Rama. We have one with 12 points here, number 11. Hey, how you feel? What's your name, sir?
Great.
Bill Witt. All right.
Got
Phil
the Bela
Witt has
Lugosi
won.
do.
I know. All right, he's the winner of our second heat.
Is that a hat?
He's the winner of our second heat. We have another heat, and we'll be back with more slurping excitement. The Breakfast Time Anytime Bowl.
By the way, just an important health tip, don't drink yellow milk. Right now, let's take a look at today's top stories.
Thanks, Tom. In the news today, in Northern Ireland, pro-British Protestant paramilitaries are declaring a ceasefire effective midnight tonight local time. The announcement comes just 6 weeks after the Irish Republican Army called a similar truce. The board of the NAACP is meeting on Saturday to confront some new allegations against the board's chairman. William Gibson denies accusations of collecting about $500,000 for expenses he'd already charged the NAACP's credit card. 2 months ago, the organization fired Executive Director Benjamin Chavez for also misusing the group's funds. It's official. Former Disney studio chairman Jeffrey Katzenberg, director Steven Spielberg, and music mogul David Geffen are joining forces. Yesterday, the trio announced they're equal partners in an entertainment company that will focus on motion pictures and TV production, animation, and recording interactive media. No name yet for the company. Some celebrities are blowing out birthday candles today. Actress Tisha Campbell from Martin is 24. Singer Art Garfunkel is 52. And Olympic skater Nancy Kerrigan is 25 years old today. And that's a quick look at some of today's top stories.
All right, thanks. Right now, the guy with the paper has the weather. Jim?
Yes, and there is some interesting weather. By the way, do you think that the weather is something that happens to us or it's something we make happen? Well, if it's something we make happen, stop it in the southeast. That's enough rain already. But it's not bad about the rain in the northern Rockies. Let's look at them high temperatures. As I said, these high temperatures are a little inaccurate due to weatherman incompetence. That 50 section should be much larger, and actually it's going to be cool in the northwest along the northern rim. The rest of the country, 60s and 70s, pretty nice. That's the weather.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. I'm in the lounge heading out onto 5th Avenue in Madison Square Park, where you can see right across the street, we've got some of the students from the Tai Chi school here in New York City, the School of Tai Chi Chuan, and they are going to teach us about this ancient Chinese form of mind and body discipline when Breakfast Time Anytime continues.
Tom. Here's Uncle Tom going.
We're doing it now?
No.
Yeah.
Are we doing it
Yeah,
now?
but it was in nice
Okay,
slow
thank you.
motion there.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were just going to tease to it, but that's all
don't
right.
hurry on our account,
Because this whole
Tom.
space-time thing has completely thrown me, as you can imagine.
We
Students here now carrying what look like simulated swords from the School of Tai Chi Chuan here in New York City. And as you can see, it is an elegant discipline, a very slow-moving, exacting discipline. Hi there, how are you?
Hi, good morning.
What's your name?
Margaret Matsumoto.
Hi, Margaret, and you are the instructor here?
Yes, one of the many instructors at our school.
This is, it's like watching a dance almost, but it's more than what meets the eye, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's a whole internal discipline as well as a health system, an exercise, a meditation and movement.
How long does it take to become... Oh, come on, Phil, John, Suzanne, come on in here. Come on here. Take up some of this space here and see. Now, can people do what I'm encouraging them to do, just sort of to step in and try to move with them as if it were some sort of interpretive dance?
Well, certainly, but we like you to take instruction because that way you understand the full spectrum of the knowledge inside of it.
Yeah. What's the significance behind each of the movements? For example, we have these two people over here. Come on over here if you can, and we'll move a little out of the way for them.
Let's take a look at these partners over here, all right? This is one aspect of Tai Chi study. We work with partners, there's shifting of weight, contact only through the hands. It's their fundamental training in the self-defense aspect, all right? Our curriculum is very graduated, so this is one step along the way. And as you see, they're working balance, timing, coordination with their partners.
All right. Now, over here, it has a bit more of an offensive or defensive, depending on your perspective look, is they're moving with swords.
That's correct. You see more clearly the martial arts aspect of Tai Chi. It's another one of the studies that we have at our school, and the sword form increases your awareness, expands your awareness outward. If you're not centered and focused, you can see that reflected in the movements of the sword.
Now, I have heard tell that despite what it looks like, there's actually elements of physical conditioning here, that there's a lot of strength involved.
Absolutely. You'll find people who practice regularly, more circulation, better balance, much stronger muscle tone, increased flexibility. I mean, my pregnancy was wonderful because I did Tai Chi, no back pain.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure. Now, how much labor?
Oh, enough, let's say. It's always just enough.
Yeah. There ain't no exercise regimen in the world that'll take that pain away completely, right?
No, it's a natural function, though. And Tai Chi also balances the body in a very harmonious and natural way. What I like about it is that many things help you relax while you're being quiet, while you're sitting. But this is teaching you to relax while you're in movement.
I want to ask just a couple of your students, preferably the ones without the swords. Sir, how long have you been doing this?
Oh, about a year and a half.
And what's been the result for you?
Greater relaxation, ease of mind, peacefulness, relaxation.
And do you keep a look at everyone as you're doing it, or are you in your own world?
Well, both. I'm in my own world, and I'm also aware of everyone around me.
You know, that so describes my role here, doesn't it, Jim?
Yeah. How long do you have to do it before you start selling flowers?
I'm not going to ask that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us on. We enjoyed it. And
You bet.
Have people come to
Can you do one favor for me?
Sure, what's that?
Come back into the control room and whack Jim on the head.
I'd love to.
Oh,
but
good. Gently, but with the sword. Lori, what else is happening?
Well, actually, the Tai Chi people are going to come back into the apartment with Tom, and we're going to have just a little bit more of them relaxing around the living room, which should be cool. We're also going to head back to Los Angeles, where Gwen McGee is at the Fox NFL studios. So stick around.
Hi, I'm Beverly Johnson, and you're watching FX, TV made fresh daily.
I tried a lot of other diets, but they didn't work for me. This is a new lifestyle. This is a new way of being. If Jenny Craig were to walk through that door right now, I would most definitely thank her for what she taught me. Ah! Oh, my God! Here I am.
You look pretty good.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so very much.
Well, we couldn't have done it without you.
Right now, John Morrison isn't thinking about cancer or the medical studies that conclude foods rich in vitamin C, like Florida orange juice, may actually help lower the risk of some types of cancer. So while he may not know it, he's doing something good for his body every morning. Even on those days he's just not able to exercise. 100% pure Florida orange juice. To your health.
Craving a road trip? FX is on the road every day. When you're on the road with FX, You never know where we'll take you.
We're going to head to Miami coming up later in the show.
What you'll see?
We are going to be in San Francisco tomorrow, and we are going to talk to a man who has the world's largest collection of tin toys.
Or what you'll hear.
And we're telling you about music not only from around the corner, from around the world.
Buckle up. We're road tripping. FX, on the road every day.
Hey, MCI customers. 20% is the discount you expect from MCI Friends and Family Basic, but the average savings on your bill is only 6%. We call that MCI math. When you look at your bill, the person you call has to be an MCI customer and in your circle, or you don't get 20%. Now, some true math from AT&T. 20% is what we promised, and 20% is what you get off your bill. That's AT&T True USA Savings. Spend $25 a month on AT&T Long Distance and save 20% on your AT&T calls to everyone in the USA, anytime, guaranteed. Fact is, 2 out of 3 Friends and Family Basic or Primetime customers will save more with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Switching's free, and you'll save 20% with AT&T True USA Savings. Call now.
Your true voice.
Master, why are there evil men in the world? Ah, Grasshopper, only enough evil men to keep series in syndication for 5 more years. Because, hey, we're still making a good buck.
Not only that, there's a new Kung Fu as well.
Is that right?
Have you seen it?
No.
It's filmed in Canada. What?
Can I just mention?
Yeah.
It's not, I used to love Kung Fu. I don't like this new one because, quite frankly, David Carradine has not kept in shape. And now...
And it's 70.
Well, the only way he can capture any of the bad guys is if they run in slow motion, because he can only kick about shin high.
So
very sad.
Well, you know, time marches on, Tom. What can I tell you? And so does this show. And so does this show, oddly enough, even though it seems like it's standing still sometimes. Gwen McGee is in Los Angeles at the new NFL Fox Studios, and she's finding out that football is one of the most watched sports in our country, and it is big, huge business. Right, Gwen?
That's right. I mean, millions and millions of people watch this. They live on this stuff, which is great. So I'm behind the scenes of the NFL on Fox studio, and we're going into the set now, and we're going to get a tour, okay? So without further ado, Gwen. Thanks, Gwen. So now I'm on the floor where the actual NFL on Fox goes down. So I'm going to go in there. Hi, how are you? Excuse me, gentlemen. Hi, how are you? All these people, I don't know what they do here, but I'm going to get somebody to maybe show me around. Here are 2 nice-looking gentlemen here. Hello, gentlemen. How are you? Can someone of you give me a tour of our new Fox studio here? Would you?
Fox NFL Sunday?
Sure. Yeah, well, you look so nice. You look very important. Will you take me around so I don't get kicked off? I'm Gwen McGee.
Gwen? Oh, hi,
yeah,
Gwen.
good to meet you.
I'm Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, hello, Terry.
Well, here.
Come on, you.
This is one of our stars. This is Howie Long, ex-Raider. This is Gwen McGee. McGee?
Yeah, Gwen McGee. What do you do here, Howie?
What do you do, Howie?
I carry Terry's bag.
I'm his valet. Big valet. That's the valet, huh?
Actually, what do you do here, Terry?
Good question. What I do is I pretty much make sure that the show runs solid and that everybody has ample time to go on the air and get all their information.
Yeah, he does do that.
Yeah, that's my job.
He does do that.
Okay, will you give
Howie just complains primarily. His job is to come in here and be over-prepared and think that's a Howie Long show, see? So we have to editorialize. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I like that.
We cut it down.
It's a good segue.
Yeah.
Okay, well, take me around. I want to see the studio. What else is there? All these people over here. What is this up here?
Well, this is where we do the show. See, this is Jimmy's chair, Howie, me, and JB. We're the 2 co-hosts. We're over there, and these are our 2 analysts, I guess, coach and player. And we sit there, and there's our monitors, and there's our cameras all out here. And when we do the show, when the show opens up, this is where we are. Now, we left the football. Gwen, you can see the football field. We do a lot of stuff over there. We do it at the monitors. That's our football field, and there's our locker, and this is kind of neat. And here, come on, walk over this way. These are some of my friends that come in and watch the show all the time. Yeah, these are all, hi, y'all. Say hello. Now, this is where we do all the halftime and post-game stuff. Another desk, more monitors, and then more cameras. And then James Brown, Brother Brown. Brother Brown, say hello. to Gwen McGee. Watch out, honey. He'll grab you. He's mad. Nice meeting you.
Okay, so now, JB, what do you do on the show?
I
JB
support
works
Terry.
for me.
No, I support Terry. Whatever Terry asks for, we give it to him. That's it. Absolutely. So ask him, what do I do?
Yeah, he works for
What
me.
does he do?
He works for me.
Okay. Well, you know what? I want to ask a question. My husband had a question. He's a football. I don't know any. I bet you guys are like really big stars, and I don't even know you. Yeah, I'm here. Well, look, my husband wants to know this
Ring back around now. Class ring now. Go ahead. Go ahead. Got Terry.
All right, a question. This guy Warren Moon, he got traded to the Vikings. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, he didn't want to be traded. The Oilers had a choice between keeping Warren Moon at a salary around $3.5 million, or keeping a younger guy named Cody Carlson at about the same amount of money. They opted to go with the young kid and release Moon, who then in turn signed with the Vikings, and in the last 3 weeks is just playing fantastic football. And as we all know, the Oilers are struggling.
And guess what? I know the folks down in Houston are saying, where is Warren now? Warren is happy in Minnesota. He misses Houston, but boy, he'd love to be sticking it to him as long as Minnesota does well.
Well, okay. And finally, who's going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Who's in it? Tell me who's in it so I can tell you who's going to win it.
You got to tell me. I don't know nothing about football.
You know, you're the football. You came in. Yeah, well, Jerry thought it was going to be Pittsburgh.
Florida State,
but they got beat last night.
You know what? You like Miami then?
I like
I like Miami. Miami and Florida State in the Super Bowl.
That's right.
That's it.
Well, there you have it. And
we know our stuff.
Hey, you guys are pretty cool. Thanks a lot for being so friendly to me. Back to you, Gwen. Thanks, Gwen. Terrific stuff. Good enough. Fabulous. Fantastic. Don't let anybody tell you different. Now, listen.
You know we will.
No, that's fantastic. Now, that was very special. You have to be very privileged to get inside and do a tour of any sort while they're live, right?
Gwen,
Yes, Tom?
we're going to get back to him, okay? Because we have to press on right now. We'll get back to your next guest on the Gwen McGee Hour. But first, I just thought if we could get Terry Bradshaw to explain the Warren Moon trade, he can do the whole space-time.
Yeah. Oh, I would bet.
I bet he can do that. I bet he can do that. Right now, we're going to take a breather. And apparently there's been a foul called on the show. We'll see what that means. And, Jim, what else is coming up?
Oh, I hope it's not what I think. Tom Hanks at 13. Not exactly live either.
Stop crime from taking over your neighborhood.
FX wants you to take a stand.
Don't wait to take action. Be a part of the solution. Form a crime-fighting team by organizing a neighborhood watch. While police can't be everywhere, neighbors working with the police make one of the best crime-fighting teams around. Contact your local police department and find out how you can bring your neighbors together.
Stop the anger and neighborhood destruction. Take a stand.
It's time to hear the truth from MCI friends and family customers.
I expected that my bill would go down, and it didn't go down. I have nobody on my calling circle at all. So I'm not seeing any savings.
We did not get the savings we were looking for, and I think that's the core part of the problem with the MCI program.
I've tried something else. I'm going back home. I'm going to stick with AT&T.
Get the savings you expect. Switch to AT&T. With True USA savings, spend $25 a month. We'll subtract 20% off your AT&T bill. Guaranteed. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT.
Friends and family doesn't work at all because no one would switch for me.
Right, yeah. I was trying to get my sister and my mother to switch over to MCI, but we ended up getting into a huge fight. I mean, almost a knockdown, drag-out fight.
It's sort of like getting a chain letter. You know, you feel like you have to do it and you have to mail it, but you don't want to. I didn't like that. So I went back to AT&T. I mean, if they give me a discount without doing that.
Keep it simple. Call anyone, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. and save 20% with True USA savings. Switch today.
You have the flexibility of calling anywhere, anytime. You're not thinking, gee, let me check in my phone book and find out if this person has MCI so that I know that I'm going to get savings.
This is a plan that would bring me back to AT&T.
Switch today and enjoy AT&T True Rewards. Earn points good for free AT&T minutes or free miles on Delta, United, or US Air, just for using AT&T. Call today. It's free.
My in-laws are actually coming next week due to the bonus programs with AT&T. What's not to like? You know?
I got to get calling on this. I got to take care of business.
We'll make it easy for you. Switching is free. True Rewards is free, and the 20% savings is true. Call us today.
This is really simple. This is like to the point, 20% for anybody.
AT&T is simple. You pick up the phone, you call who you want to, and you get your savings. Just call up and say, I want to switch back, and you're done.
Your true voice.
This is Bob. What Bob doesn't know is that he doesn't have to go hitchhiking all over the country for interesting things to see and do. All he has to do is watch FX. Because every day FX hits the road in search of cool stuff you probably won't see anywhere else. And they take you their lives. Not that hitchhiking to exciting places is bad. FX just does it better.
Where are you going, guys?
Don't be
Look like eyeballs.
FX, on the road every day.
Master, why do I whine so much? Ah, grasshopper, I cursed the darkness because I had no eyes, till I saw a jolly man who had no head.
Huh? You know what? I don't know why, but I thought that was very funny. The old jolly man with no head bit always cracks me up. We've got our Tai Chi students, and we have a vulture loose in the apartment, and
kids in the ballroom.
Kids in the ballroom.
Oh,
and,
my goodness.
And appraisers here at the living room couch.
Something very exciting happened on Personal FX. Was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. A woman by the name of Margaret Toole sent in a video that she had made when she was 14 years old of Tom Hanks, Academy Award winner Tom Hanks, auditioning for a junior high school play.
And Alan Shrem is one of the appraisers on Personal FX, seen on the East Coast at noon, 9 on the West Coast live. And to my surprise, Alan, this videotape is worth more than $75.
Absolutely. Oh, it's a special.
Tell us about the video and why it's so special.
Well, basically, he's in demand right now. Basically, if you get a character that's in demand and you have something that is very unusual, there's always going to be a market for it and people to collect it.
As you tell us about it, let's roll the tape and see Tom Hanks auditioning for a junior high play at the age of, what, 14 years? Look at him!
Oh. So
That's
this isn't really video. This is probably done on film.
Yeah, it does look like film. And the woman who was sitting next to him, the young woman sitting next to him is the woman who owns the video, apparently.
Yes, she'd had a big crush on him, and that's why she's kept it all these years because she has such a
It's
crush.
like a box of chocolate.
Oh, look at that.
Look at him. I don't know what's he auditioning for.
Like
Waiting for Godot, it looks like.
So he's auditioning for Bluebeard. And Alan, what happened? How much did you?
Well, basically, the appraisers on yesterday appraised the video at $1,000, which Steve Dunleavy from Current Affair offered $1,000 for the video, thought it was worth exactly what the appraisers
How did
called
Current
it
Affair hear about it?
I guess through the show. I guess one of their staff was there, watching the show.
Wonderful.
People have eyes on
So now,
FX.
did she sell the video to a Current
She
Affair?
hasn't sold it yet, but there's other stations that could also possibly be interested, and you just should know that when you have something like that.
1,100.
1,100. You know, wait a minute. Whoa, we just played it for nothing. Chill. Just relax.
550.
But that's just good for people to know at home. If you have old videotapes of someone who ultimately became famous, and don't use anything that have lines. But if somebody really famous who hit it big, then
I got some
obviously
shots
the
of
video.
Phil you can have.
What?
We all have shots of Phil.
Listen, Alan, thank you so much for coming on
my
today.
pleasure.
Are you on
Thanks.
Personal Effects today?
Yeah, I'm on later on today,
Okay.
and thanks.
Thank you very much. That's exciting stuff. It really
Hey, a
is.
picture is worth more than 1,000 words.
Absolutely. So tune in to Personal FX weekdays right here on the FX Network, 9 o'clock Pacific time and noon here on the East Coast. Right now we're going to take a look at some of today's top stories.
Thank you, Lori. Here are some of the top stories we're following for you today on FX. U.S. troops in the Persian Gulf region are staging their first military maneuvers in Kuwait today. The military exercises come as Iraqi troops pull back from their positions near the Kuwaiti border. Kenzaburo Oi, a novelist and essayist from Japan, pronunciation approximate, is the winner of this year's Nobel Prize in Literature. Couldn't have been Rush Limbaugh, I guess. Tomorrow, the Nobel Peace Prize is being announced. In Los Angeles, the judge in the O.J. Simpson double murder trial says he wants to speed jury selection up. Only 4 of the 85 prospective jurors called into the court yesterday were actually questioned. It's the 12th day of the National Hockey League lockout. So far, 65 games have been missed this season. There's no new talk scheduled between the players and owners. And a vintage pinup favorite is coming back. The Varga girl. Is that
Vargas.
right? The Vargas girl?
Right.
I'm not up on my pin-ups, I'm ashamed to say.
I am.
Yeah, I bet you are. The Vargas Girl is coming back to Esquire magazine starting next month, but of course it's done 90s style, computer-enhanced models, putting all those airbrush artists out of work. And that's a look at some of today's top stories.
Thank you very much. Jim, what's the weather like today?
Well, it's Tai Chi inspired because Tai Chi comes from natural movements, and we see a long snake in the northwest with its head in the northwest, and unfortunately I couldn't make anything of the lima bean in the southeast. Let's look at those high temperatures. And as you can see, Tai Chi is contraction and expansion, contraction and expansion. Now, unfortunately, I froze this map where it contracted yesterday, and that little 50s dot should expand now. It should be much bigger and more purple. There should also be purple in other parts, but most of the country is in the 60s and 70s, and that's the weather.
So that should be more purple, but you should know if the redness and itching doesn't go away within a few days, call your doctor. Right now, as the Breakfast Time Anytime tour continues, as we hook up with some of the top radio stations across the country to celebrate Breakfast Time Anytime in the morning and in the evening, we go with Spencer Garbett to Knoxville, Tennessee, where the gang from Classic Rock WIMZ FM 103.5 is gathered round the cereal bowl for more from the Breakfast Time Bowl. Spencer?
That's right, the Breakfast Time Anytime Bowl. We're back at the University of Tennessee. We have bobbing for footballs. These contestants will be bobbing for footballs, not with their hands, not with their spoons, but with their teeth.
Spencer?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
It's a classic rivalry this weekend there at the University of Tennessee, right?
Right, against the University of Alabama. And we'll meet the contestants who have won. This is the last and final heat. This is, John, you had 11, right?
No.
How many do you have? Oh, Jason. This is Jason. He had 11 points last time. This is Richard. He had 12. The winner of this next heat over here, whoever has the most football points will win. Now we're here with 103.5 Classic Rock. We've got Colvin Items and Phil Williams here. And what do they win?
Well, in addition to the tickets to the Tennessee-Alabama game and the trip to New York City, this lovely trophy with the fake wood, the fake marble, and we look at any double wide or just wherever, I would think.
Ooh,
Wheel of Fortune.
And well,
for second place, this wonderful box of Breakfast Time Flakes.
Wow! That's
Yay!
a whole grain
We've got
rye
our own
programming
cereal.
with pie and fiber. That's right. Is there a third prize? No third prize. Oh, that's right. A fourth prize. All right. We're starting it. And you want to start us off here?
Sure, let's do it. All right, are we ready, bobbers? On your mark.
All right. Let's play ball.
People up in there counting an entire
How do you think this
civilization
competition's going so far?
Usually from within.
Why are they throwing the balls back?
That's to get them out. That's how they get them out.
On the great state of Tennessee and these volunteer fans here today.
No use crying over spilt milk because little spilt milk
looks tasty now, doesn't it?
big win for everyone now. We're almost done here with our last heat. Whoever has the most footballs from all the heats will win. They have to
Think
get
of
more
the
than
moose
12.
tails after this.
There we go, and we're done.
Wild Kingdom
Whoa.
special.
Do we have a winner here? Do we have a winner?
We have plenty of winners.
Yeah, not one.
God, the cereal's getting soggy, and so am I. Let's see if we can find a winner here. 15.
15?
How many does he have? 20 points. How many? There he is, 20 points, number 15. How are you? What's your name, sir?
Rick Hicks.
All right, and he is our official winner, and we'll be back to hand away the trophies and prizes later on.
All right,
the Breakfast
Spencer.
Time Anytime Bowl.
And by the way, what you're not seeing is Spencer's picture on the side of the 50-foot milk carton. That's pretty incredible. Lori, I want to show you. Come on, Phil, Suzanne, come on in here. Lori, check this out. Look at this. It's a virtual Tai Chi playground in here.
Woo!
And this gives a hint to what's coming up. You want to clue them in?
Who, me?
Yeah,
You. I'm still amazed that there were no women in the final round of the football ground. Amazing.
Yeah.
It was just men.
You think it's sexism?
Oh, I have a song for you. How can you mend
A broken heart.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're going to
sing it
talk
like
about
the Bee
broken hearts
Gees.
right after the break. And how the heck to mend them.
How can a loser
Love that.